Hey guys, so the Dokkan Battle 300 million downloads special live stream just ended. So I'm just going to go through pretty much everything that they talked about, the important topics, and just sort of review everything. I basically pulled the important parts and like compiled pretty much a slideshow of what I think are worthy of mentioning. So just right off the bat here, the celebration is going to be Cell games themed. So pretty much the entire live stream is just based around basically Cell, and then pretty much everything associated with that. So that's that. The first thing is we actually have a new sort of feature coming to Dokkan Battle, which is going to be the ability to set your sort of background. The guy said so the producer was the guy on the right in the last picture, and he said that you're gonna be able to choose the background that you want and then put it as your home screen. So I assume that means like just like when you enter the game, the first screen that you see there, this is like if let's say this is your background, you're gonna see that sort of behind your team, like your character's like always displayed there. So I assume this will be displayed behind that. So that's pretty cool. This one will be distributed upon first login, and then he said that there's more you can get just throughout the course of the celebration. So we'll see how you get those later. So then we have the Japan versus global sort of, I guess, showdown or like challenge, whatever. And here we have. It says this is like the karate chop thing where like Mr. Satan like chops like all those like cinder blocks or whatever. And then you can get like either Cell or Mr. Satan. So the loser gets Mr. Satan, the winner gets Cell. And then by completing all the missions, you get up to 35 Dragon Stones. So that's that. And then we have to take a look at Cell, perfect form, and then Mr. Satan is a loser. Honestly, I'd rather have Mr. Satan just because he just seems a lot funnier, and well, you guys will know why. I don't really want Cell later on. There's going to be 10 new stages coming to Super Battle Road. So he did mention that 3 of the stages will be Super Saiyan 3. One will be Universe Survival Saga, and then the other one will be Giant Transformation. And then there's going to be 7 more. It's hard to say what exactly they'll be, but he did mention that these are going to be like specifically very difficult. So I assume they're going to be similar to the already existing category stages, if not a little bit more difficult than them. So looking forward to that. Next we have, oh yeah, and also by the way, this is going to be a combined celebration between Global and JP, but as far as I'm aware, the Super Battle Road stages I would assume are coming to Global as well. So here we have the actual reward for completing the Super Battle Road missions. And it's going to be a Kid Goku and Bulma card, LR, like pretty much like the Gohan from the original stages, and then the LR Goku from the existing category stages. So this is the original golden combination, Goku Youth and Bulma Youth. Their passive skill is, for every Dragon Ball Seekers category ally on your team, attack and defense plus 7%, maximum of 35%. And then for every youth category ally on your team, attack and defense plus 7%, up to a max of 35%. And then also we have, for every Dragon Ball Saga unit on your team, you get attack and defense plus 7%, up to a max of 35%. And finally, for every combination category ally on your team, or that's joined forces in the global version, you get Ki plus 1 up to a max of Ki plus 5. So I assume this is going to work in a similar way to LRK and Caulifla, where if you have a unit that's in all 3 of these categories, it's going to be sort of inclusive of all 3 parts of these. So that'll be 21% from that one unit. So this is going to be a pretty insane, pretty disgusting LR. So I'm looking forward to that, and I definitely appreciate the fact that they're continuing to buff up that Dragon Ball Saga category, because it's one of my favorite teams. So that's that. Next, we have a new story event coming, the Cell Game story event. And you will actually be able to acquire a free-to-play Goku from this event, who has his own potential orbs, much like the Vegeta that is already obtainable in the existing event for JP, which I assume is going to be coming to Global, because actually in V-Jump, let me pull up V-Jump, see if I can find a scan of V-Jump real fast. But basically what V-Jump was talking about is there's going to be sort of like a new mechanic coming. It's kind of hard to... I'll just pull it up here. So, this Vegeta we already have. He's going to be Dokkan Awakening into Vegeta and Trunks Super Saiyan, and then there's going to be a new active skill called Koutai, which I guess you can sort of translate as retreat or like switch out. where it's going to become from Vegeta and Trunks into just Trunks, into Super Trunks. And then over here, actually this is Super Vegeta and Super Trunks, and this is just Super Trunks. This is going to be the new Goku coming. He Dokkan awakens into Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan, and then uses his active skill Retreat or Switch to go into Super Saiyan Gohan alone. So that's sort of like the new thing coming. And then the reason why I assume this is going to be coming to global as well is because like it's a joint celebration, so I assume global is going to get this story event and then this story event as well. That's just what I'm assuming, and then that's pretty much all this VJump scan is saying that we know of right now. So that's this. Next we have a sort of like a new version of Dokkan Battlefield. And this is sort of like the Android saga, right? So you have like all the Android enemies here. And there's also going to be 2 new cards you can obtain, which are Krillin and Android 18. Take a look at them right here. Now down here it says this is the post-Dokkan Awakening card arts for both of them. So I assume you're going to be getting them as SSRs, and then possibly Dokkan Awakening them using Battlefield medals into these forms here. So that's that. Next we have sort of like a special mission. This is Gente events, so that means like limited, or I think this is what special events are on global. But it's basically the hyperbolic time chamber, and then you can actually obtain these keys for the first time. And what these keys do, apparently to what the guy was talking about, was these keys are used to access other special events, so or like limited events. So maybe stuff like the LRB Pan event that was only available during the 4-year anniversary. Maybe this can let you access that. I'm not really sure. You didn't provide too many details about it. But I think this is going to be super interesting to see, especially what this can get. I am personally hoping that you would be able to use this key to access the Countdown to Resurrection event, so I can farm up the Cop Krillin, because I never got to play that event, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. Next we have the Ticket Banner. So this is the banner for, basically that gives you stones depending, I mean not stones, that gives you tickets depending on how many stones you've used throughout a certain period of time. Now, this is what the banner is going to look like on GP. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of units that aren't included here because there's a ton of units, but just know that this banner is confirmed. We all thought it was going to be, but just this is extra confirmation of that's happening. And then this is the big one. We do have LR Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan Gohan, and then LR Dokkan Fest Cell Perfect Form. And down here, it says that the above images are post-Dokkan Awakening and post-transformations. It's what they revealed about Gohan, right? They're both Dokkan Fest LRs, so just keep that in mind. Gohan is going to be starting out as Super Saiyan 1, so just regular Super Saiyan Gohan. His active skill is his transformation, where he transforms to the Super Saiyan 2. And then they showed actually his, I believe it was his 18-key super attack, which is the Father Son Kamehameha. It looks very good. And then Cell's active skill is the Solar Kamehameha, right? They showed that off as well. So this implies he's a transforming unit because it says that the images are post-transformation. So that must mean that Cell has a traditional transformation mechanic and not an active skill transformation mechanic, because his active skill is already being used for an ultimate attack. So him starting out as Cell, parentheses perfect form instead of just perfect Cell, is pretty big, because that allows you to run either the EZA or any of the EZA perfect form cell or perfect cells. So you have the int one, the strength one, and the tech one that you can potentially run alongside this guy. So just to sum up quickly, Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, active skill transform into Super Saiyan 2. Cell perfect form, traditional transformation mechanic into perfect Cell, and then he has an active skill for an ultimate attack. So that's that. Next we have, this is part 2 information from now on. They didn't really reveal too much about part 2. I assume there's going to be multiple banners coming. But they just talked about some of the stuff that's coming. So this Gohan is actually getting an EZA in part 2. So that's pretty cool, the strength Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And then to go along with that, there will be sort of like a raid Extreme Z battle event, similar to Jiren during last year's $250 million celebration, and during the 4-year anniversary when there was like that Omega one. I think it's sort of similar to that. I mean, probably more similar to Jiren because it's going to be like a combined effort between Global and JP. This is actually the same exact phrasing they use for that event, so yeah, it's going to be very similar to that. So you're going to be fighting against Perfect Cell, and then you get rewards and stuff for just taking him down and completing missions. And then this is sort of the last thing, is just I think this is going to be starting from the 20th of the month. This is basically a quiz campaign going on Twitter. Now this is not clear if it's going to be available for both JP and Global. If the Global does this, it will be available on Facebook because there's no official Twitter account for Global as far as I know. They haven't used one, so yeah, I expect this to be released sometime around the 20th. I think that's what they said. But yeah, you can get stones for just completing these, and just I guess they can sort of use this as like a countdown to the actual celebration. And then in addition to that, everything I just mentioned, we will be getting 50 Dragon Stones. And I think they said that it would be available on the 19th of August, so in 2 days from when I'm uploading this video. But that's pretty much all they talked about. And I pretty much covered everything. I even snuck in V-Jump there because, I mean, there's not that much info about it. But let me know how you guys feel about this info. I'm definitely not surprised at all that it was Gohan and Cell. It was obviously one of the many different scenarios that I saw being a possibility. So I think the Gohan and Cell's abilities look really, really good, the animations, and definitely looks like there's going to be a lot of content to do or to play around with in the celebration. So looking forward to it, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.